Hey you, welcome back to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. My name is Sechmo and this is episode 28. We're going to go rescue our crew from orbit around the sun. I couldn't make it back from Dres, unfortunately, and I think upon some introspection, some deep reflecting time, I think I've realized that the, how do you say, the inclination of Dres is what messed me up. So I had enough delta V and all that, but just using the window planner doesn't necessarily give you the best. It's not necessarily the best if you just take it at face value in terms of getting from one planet to another. If you take into account the inclination, you should be launching, if I'm not mistaken, you should be launching at one of the ascending or descending nodes and making sure that your planes are aligned. And that'll actually save you delta V, because the closer your planes are to matching the I'm looking for something, by the way, the better the less delta V you have to spend. So I think that may have been what happened, but at any rate, now we're gonna go and try to rescue those people, and which is fine because this gives us a good opportunity to go through and do this. Utility, I might not have gotten it yet, which that's gonna suck. Payload coupling. It might be in coupling or structural. Ah, the inline clampetron. Could that be? I'm not sure. Let me see this real quick. Put one of those down, and then we're coupling. Put that on top just so I can look at it real quick. Opening. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of cool. That's not what I want though. I want the grabbing unit, which I don't even know if I have enough science for. That's kind of frustrating. Let's see, 286 science. I need like 300. Actuators. Ah, here we are. Here we are, the advanced grabbing unit, which I need 164, and I have. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's grab that. The advanced grabbing unit. Okay. Because I'm going to do this in a fun way. You can probably already tell how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to send a robotic craft to save these people from orbit. So let's get started on that. I'm going to try to do this quickly so I don't have to do too much editing, so we can actually watch the whole process. To that end, let's go ahead and throw on that, and it'll be in coupling, I imagine. Yes, that, and with that on top. And then underneath that, we'll do our fuel tank. That's not the right one, excuse me. That's too big, too. There we go. That and that. And it's going to be a very light craft, so I shouldn't have to really beef it up too much. That should be, yes, 5,000 delta V. That should be fine. So that in orbit should be able to do pretty much whatever it wants to do. So with that in mind, of course, let's make sure we have plenty of solar and some power. Go away. You. Off. You. On. Go. Okay, and then, of course, plenty of antenna as well. Let's just do one of these, or one or two of these. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, so way to generate power, way to store power, communitron, because this is, of course, robotic. Of course, power and fuel and all that, and then the grabbing unit on top, and that really should be everything I need. Maybe a stabilizer. Back there. Do the smaller one. Okay, yeah, that's it. And then this just needs to get out of Kerbin's SOI. So let's build something capable of doing that. Come on, Clicky, let's go. There we go. And with that in mind, I've been enjoying the big rockets. So let's go ahead and keep going with the big rockets. Let's do that and that. This is pretty light, so I shouldn't need too much, but I will make it big. Because it's always fun to go big, right? We've been using a lot of that. How about the Rhino? Yeah. So that is 3,500. So this will go in this will go in orbit just by itself, and then this should be plenty. I mean, it's a ton. This is a lot. It's pretty cheap, 61 grand. The only thing to consider here, I'll do another tank. You probably knew that I was going to do that. There we go. 9 grand. The only thing to consider here is that this Delta V number here, 5267, once it grasps that vehicle, you know, it won't be 5267 anymore, because it'll be heavier, so it'll be a smaller number than this. But I'm probably going to decouple. Well, you'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so there we go. This is plenty. The Rhino and these fuel tanks, and yeah, this is a ton. So Rescuer? Robo Rescuer. I don't know. Let's just go. Sanity check real quick. Power. Reaction wheels. Yeah, I really can't think of anything else I need. Go for it. This should be it. It's not coming back. I'm just gonna fling it back at Kerb. Fling the craft back at Kerb. Now there will need to be a significant amount of editing, because I'm sure it's going to take a long time for me to actually rendezvous these vessels together, but you get the idea. I need to put MechJeb on here is what I need to do. Not MechJeb, Kerbal Engineer, that engineering unit. Oh, my thrust to weight's too low. Oh, sorry. I didn't pay attention. When I added that second fuel tank, I didn't pay attention to the thrust to weight. What a fool. Let's see if I can fix that real quick. Yo, it's at 0.95. It just needs a hair more. Can I just... 0.99. Just take out some of this fuel. There we go, 1.6. And what's the difference here? 90... It takes out a pretty significant amount of Delta V. Even though I'm not really, okay. Let's do this instead. That. And these. How about this? How about this? Check this out. We'll go back in time a little bit and use these guys. Yeah, remember these guys? And aerodynamics, because it's fun. There we go. Okay. There we go. Save and launch. There we go. Man, time flies. It's already 8 minutes into this video. I can't. They go by so fast. I'm trying to keep these videos short. I really am. But the time is just absolutely slips away from you. Try not to make these too long. All right. And launch. Oh, I forgot to do the. Okay, what, am I stuck or something? Why? This should be launching. Oh, now you're launching. Okay. I should launch before that because excuse me. It had a thrust-to-weight ratio of over 1, so it should have kind of started taking off right away. I think I'm gonna let well enough be and just see what happens once these stop. Yeah, no good. Huh. Yeah, and then once these decouple, it says 1.8 right here. Am I... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have atmosphere enabled. Oh my god. That's why. There we go. That's why. Jeez. Okay. How about I take this off and put the thing back on? This will do it for me. And then that still gives me a ton of Delta V, and I have the thrust weight. Okay. Alright, well, we just won't use the Rhino. I got excited about using the Rhino, but forget it. You're too weak, Rhino. I want to say the Rhino is pretty good for like upper atmosphere, and even a little bit in space too, I think, because it's the only other engine that I'm aware of that uses that's the same size. I forgot what the meter is, like how big the diameter is, but anyway. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong thrust weight value. So, anyway. There we go. Now it goes up. This is the direction I wanted it to go. Picking up speed pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and throttle down a little bit. Let these boosters do most of the work. And go ahead and start turning over already. Why not? This thing looks like a big Coke bottle. Going up. Move pretty aggressively as well. Why not? Get over there, you. Right. Stay on the prograde just momentarily while those go away. Turn over. I said turn over aggressively and then I kind of didn't do it. So alright, I'll start turning over aggressively now. With all the downtime that I have in this game, it'd be a great time to answer questions or talk about stuff. People want to talk about stuff. So if people were to, I'm not going to say like a full-blown Q&A or anything like that, but essentially that, if people wanted to leave something in the comments, ask any kind of questions, whatever else, criticize me, then then this would be a great time for me to pop those up on screen and answer them. That'd be fine. If you guys want to do that in the future. So, there we go, apoapsis. Let's go ahead and do a circularization circularization mover. And, well, yeah, I will go ahead and circularize this time. But, let's see. Oops, wrong way. Do something like that. I'm just trying to match it up with the KSS. That's fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hop to the moment when we get all that done. Right. Right, so what I've done is I've positioned Kerbal. So this yellow line here is the target, right? It's the Dres lander we're trying to rescue. And I've kind of positioned Kerbal to where I am more or less at the ascending node, right? Or I guess the descending node with respect to that craft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to eject from Kerbal from here. I'm sorry. Get the controls right. Apologize. And I need to be in a greater orbit, so I want to be on this side of the planet. I want to launch from here-ish. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get enough delta V to get out of the system. And then I'm going to take a look at my trajectory. And you'll see I'm almost at the descending node. In fact, let me go ahead and time warp a little bit. Nope, still a little too... It's okay. It'll be okay. But I'm almost at the descending node here, so I'm going to go ahead and burn normal. And I'm going to add this normal burn to the prograde burn, so I can do both of those at the same time. And I'm going to try to see if I can... Here we go. If I can get my orbit and its orbit aligned, all in one go. And it looks like that's about right. And I'm getting a close approach too, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and keep on flying out. And let me change my time as well to burn a little bit later. Oops, too much. Okay, let's pull back some of that delta V. A lot of that delta V. I'm just going to make kind of adjustments here. See, I'm trying to get that plane change taken care of along with this ejection burn is the idea. So, this is still quite a lot of extra delta V that I don't really need to be burning off. So let me try to pull back on that prograde save some fuel, and then also you can see those two markers there are getting closer and closer. But the point is, I'm trying to actually perform this maneuver when the planet and the craft are close. There we go. There we go. That's a pretty close intercept, honestly. Let's see. Pretty close, and I could do probably a little bit better. I could do a lot better. Let's see. Now our relative speed is going to be pretty high. Yeah, it's actually going to be too high. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Burn. Add a little bit more retrograde. And I'm trying to get that relative speed down, along with the separation, but relative speed. So going retrograde here, and you see that now we're trying to separate. So I'm going to compensate for that separation by burning a little bit at a different time. A little bit at a different time is what I said. Okay. Better, not greatest. Let's see if we can do better. And keep going retrograde. Now here's the thing to consider, is that your speed is relative to how far away from the sun you are. So if my apoapsis is the same as wherever it is at the same time, then our speeds are going to be much closer together. So that's what I'm looking for here, is that I don't want to overshoot it. You see, you can get a close approach by hitting it and then continuing, but if I can get that apoapsis down to actually match, if I can meet at my apoapsis, that's when we're going to have the slowest relative speed to each other. So that's what I'm kind of working on here. So I'm going to keep going retrograde, taking some of the velocity out of this maneuver, and then also adjusting. See, relative speed keeps going lower and lower. Moving that, and then as our separation changes, I can also adjust our time to correct for that a little bit. So there we go, under 1,000 meters a second difference between the two of us. Can I do better? I mean, it's okay that we're going somewhat fast, but that's all speed that I'm going to have to burn off, you see. We're already spending $2,000 here, so. Separation 365, 89. That's pretty good. I don't know that I'm going to get too much better than that. I don't know that I'm going to get too much better than that. Let's see. I'll try to get these things kind of on camera here. Alright. And there. How about that? Separation. Where's that separation coming from? The time different. 50,000 kilometers. And 62. I kind of liked what I had a second ago. We're going to try this. 2040. What do I have? $5,000 over there. We're going to try this and to see how this works. I really hope this works. That's pretty close, and I can make adjustments from here. So that's what we're going to work with. So, note in 2 minutes. So yeah, pretty quick. It's coming up. 2 minutes and 1 second. So of course I'm just going to burn in a minute. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think you kind of get the idea. I'm trying to get this thing set up to where we're not only close together, but we have a very small relative speed. Now, it doesn't seem like we're pretty close together, but when talking this far away from the sun, 69 kilometers is still pretty good. So, oops, passed it up. Let's go. So here we go. Let's go ahead and burn. You see I'm burning kind of with that normal vector, so I can change my plane with respect to it. Right, so here we are. And we are indeed moving pretty close together. I'm going to quick save here. And did it quick save? I didn't see it pop up. There it goes. Let's see if I can get a little closer. And here we are approaching our close approach. How long away is this? 4 days. I can get a little closer than that. So this is the closest that we'll be. Okay. Now I've got this selected as my target. We'll come back here and then we'll do all of our normal stuff here. Anti-target. Oh no, why is this thing not moving? Kerbal bike and power. Why is this not responding to anything? I have strength and I have direct comm and I have full probe control. Oh, time warp. There we go. Jeez, I was like, why? I was like, I took care of everything I need to take care of. Okay. So here we are. Let's go. Turn that on. Let's point towards the target. Look around the sky real quick and see if I can find it anywhere. Well, he'll point at it, so I guess that's fine. So it's over there somewhere. Alright. And I'm going to try to burn at the target. Oh. Okay. Stop. No anti-target. Actually, hold on. Going to try to push that retrograde marker onto the anti-target. Meanwhile, slowing our relative velocity. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of fuel to actually accomplish all this. We'll see how well this all works. I'm a little bit concerned. We'll see. But I'm going to do all the standard docking stuff. I am sucking up a lot of our relative velocities, though, so we should be pretty good. Kind of guessing where that anti-target is. I think it's down right there. The slower we go, the faster that marker moves. There it is. Alright. So now I should be heading towards my target. And this may take, again, a pretty significant amount of time. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to do that, and we're going to warp. Let's see how close we can get. I can probably do this from this view. It may take several days to actually do all this, but look, we have a much closer approach now. As you can see out here. And the more I tweak this, the closer our approach will get. In fact, already I can stop and burn like that to adjust, and then we'll keep on going. It's like a really big, really slow docking maneuver. I mean, it's exactly what it is, but like it's just so similar to all the other ones that we've done. Let's go ahead and there we go. Pull that over a little bit. Pretty small adjustments from this point. I've done most of the hard work. Alright. Now that we're getting pretty close as well, I'll start slowing. I'll start adjusting our relative speeds. How's our orbits looking? Yes, our orbits are like almost perfectly matched. That's exactly what we want to see. And I'll kill our relative velocity a little bit too. There we go. And let's warp out there. A little bit more, a little slower, and a little bit more tweaking. just to get that close approach even better. Oh, no. I knew I was going to do that too. Out of curiosity, where am I with respect to it? I should probably be able to see it at this point. Here, I'll use my craft to show me. I'll point at the target. I don't see it. There we go. Start traveling towards the target again. Of course I passed it up. It's alright. There we go. What's the separation here? Oh, 6.9 kilometers. Fantastic. Oh, there we are, right there. There it is. Alright, same as before. Pull that prograde over, so we can keep heading directly towards them. Hey. And then let's see how close we can get. Alright. That's close. We can go ahead and kill our relative velocity now. And start thinking about how we're actually going to approach the two crafts. 8.1 meters a second. It's still pretty quick, but we're gonna come in a little closer. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, that's well enough. I'll just point at my target now. Now, I didn't bring any SAS or RCS. I don't have any RCS or anything like that. So that's just something to think about. Arm. There we go. And then now let's switch over to the other target. And let's go ahead and... This is risky. I'm gonna go ahead and quick save. Of course. Here we go. And I'm going to decouple this. Alright, and then I'm going to select that as my target. There. And I'm going to point anti-target. I'll point away from it so it can grab my ass. And there we go. Alright, now as before, I'm still going kind of fast, and I'm veering off course from it as well. So let me correct all of that. Pretty minor adjustments. 0.5 meters a second. Alright, let's get a little closer. And as always, let's reduce our thrust limiter so I can make more fine adjustments. Okay. Make sure I'm heading directly for it. And you keep making these adjustments. RCS would have really helped out here, but I don't really know how fast these two things can come together. In terms of that docking, that grabbing unit, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to slow down a little bit more, just to be safe. And just fine-tune that one last time. Okay, point at the target. That may be the last adjustment that I need to do. I can't say for sure. This would be a good place for another quick save just in case. And I should be able to just grab it as I come on behind it. I think it can grab the heat shield. I'm not entirely sure. We're going to find out, aren't we? I should be heading directly towards it. There's that grabbing unit grabbing onto the sun right now. Kind of cool looking. Make these smallest. There we go. The smallest adjustment. Let's see what happens here. If this doesn't work, I can probably grab it from below. And there it is. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Can't ask for much better than that. Wow, very happy with that. So there we are. We are mated. Now what this craft is going to do is he's going to put him on a trajectory to go home, and then he's going to release him. And this guy is just going to fly home all by himself, completely unguided. And yeah, that's going to be that. So here's our orbit. Let's go ahead and find a intercept with Kerbal. And we'll start fiddling with the maneuvers to see if we can get something. Out of curiosity, how much do I have here? I have 1504. Hold on, let's fix this. There we go. It's still 1504, but I want to fix it. So 1500 delta V to work with. And here we go. Let's play with the orbit here and see if I can get on a different orbit. Oh, actually, that's not what I meant to do. Let's cancel that. And burn back. I'm also pretty heavily inclined with respect to Kerbin as well. Let's go to the descending node here and kind of try to correct these planes a little bit, see if that'll help a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. And then go retrograde. That'll give me more opportunities to actually connect with Kerbin. Alright. Okay. And same as before, I'm just gonna fiddle with it, keep going backwards and moving the node here. Let's move out of the way because I think I'm actually going to get a good approach right here. Kind of where I am now, but on the next orbit. So let me kind of move out of the way. How much LTV was it? 1504, okay. I actually don't want to do that. I want to, there we go. I'm going to change these orbits several times. Ah, that's better. And less delta V as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on a different orbit. And that'll give me a closer approach here. It's the same as before. I'm just gonna kind of fiddle with this a little bit. Let's change that. Let's change our plane. And let's change our launch time. Okay, or not. Oh, now I'm not getting anything. What happened? Let's see. That's 13 years from now. Let's cancel that. Let's try something else. I still want to do a descending node. And I still want to correct our planes. Yeah. And I want to burn retrograde. Yep. Yeah. And I think I might just have to wait. Well, actually, no, I'll take it back. I'm going to do this burn, and then I can spend some other delta V somewhere else to get closer than that. Let's just go ahead and do this burn first. Let's quick save this. And I'll see you once I get around there and actually perform it. Hot damn, I found one. So that is going to be our approach. It only took like 1 or 2 orbits. I kind of had to mess with it and look around. But it's really tough. It's not like rendezvousing 2 craft where they give you the first closest approach and then they give you the second closest approach, and they kind of react in real time. Instead, what they do is they just show you the next, like the next closest place that you'll be, and then as you move through that time, it follows you until you, I guess, it reaches some threshold where it then calculates the next closest place that you'll be. So it's not quite the same as the 2 craft, as a targeting or docking craft, you know. It's a little bit different than that. So I kind of had to like stop and play. Well, you saw. Shit, I passed it up. That's okay though. So, and it's only 334 meters a second, which is about half my budget. So it shouldn't be altogether too bad. Go ahead and burn it up. And yeah, I should have a nice, this is 134 periaps. I have enough Delta V to be able to change that once I get in Kerbin's SOI. And then I will release the capsule from the bottom stage, and they will free fall back to the planet. So yeah, it took a little longer than I wanted, but it's a deep space rescue mission. What do you expect? So that's that. Go ahead and oh, my time warp is still on. Let's see if I can get a good approach here. I did overshoot about 31 minutes, so I don't expect this to be terribly accurate. Anything would be nice, though. Oh, here we are. Let's move this in close. Intercept with the moon. And yoink. That's fine. I'd rather adjust it on the way out. Alright, so there we go. And very cool. Looks like they are going home. I don't want to count my chickens too early. Still got to actually perform a safe landing. But it looks like this is going to be okay. It looks like I did in fact bring these guys home. So let's wait and see what happens on re-entry. Alright, let's come in and push radial out. And, oh look, I'm going to come in over KSC. Well, no, it'll rotate out of the way before then. What am I thinking? And, hey. And 42 is a good number, for obvious reasons. 43 is fine too. Let's quick save just in case. And, there we go. This guy should have 150 electro. Okay. Let's go ahead and release. Alright. Go retrograde. Pointing back towards the planet. And go. Oh, that induced too much. I don't think that's going to capture me. 58. Just releasing it from the capsule, I think added too much radial out to my trajectory. But we're going to see, though, out of curiosity. We're going to see how well this does for me. Let me come all at the same time. I can also flare, provided I have enough electric charge, I can also kind of flare this thing a little bit. And that can help. I am coming in pretty hot. So for instance, if I flare it kind of like up like that, I should be able to burn off a little bit extra. Let's just see what happens. Oh yeah. 50. Yeah, too high in the atmosphere, I think. Yeah, so you have to be careful about, and I totally forgot about that. Let's go back to the quick thing. You have to be careful about which direction you're facing when you eject things. I did completely forget about that. because that ejection force, when you're way out there in space, that ejection force can really throw you off course. And the same thing would have been true too if it had thrown me the other way. So instead of going radial out like I was, let's just go retrograde, which shouldn't induce any extra velocity or anything. And there we go. And we'll release here. There we go. And then now, I should be okay. Oh, son of a biscuit. I'll warp straight through the atmosphere. Alright, one more time. Yeah, sometimes it's my fault, sometimes it's the game fault. You get the idea. Loading screens. Okay. Retrograde. And snap it. And wait for it. Release. Alright. And instead of warping through, let's just go ahead and warp somewhere close so that the game does it and not me. And here it goes. Gives a better chance for the game to catch when I actually enter the atmosphere. Here we go. Now coming in very hot. I feel like I say that every time, but I think I also come in hot every time. So, there you go. This should probably capture me. I'm going to go pretty deep into the atmosphere, I believe. Yeah, 40. And 40 and dropping. That's pretty deep on Kerbal. And Kerbal's atmosphere is pretty thick. Not the thickest in the solar system, pretty thick. I do, however, have a very light craft. And a nice small craft, too. So that should... oh yeah, look at that. How the way it's bending around the planet. Yeah, this should capture me. I might have to take a second pass. This is one-time speed, too. I'm going really quick. I'm not time warping at all. And yes, capture. Now the only thing you really have to worry about here, which is not possible anymore, but what could happen, and I think I've seen it happen too, is if you do a capture like this, and it's a complete free capture, right? Like I don't have any way to throw, except for the monopropellant that I have on top. I have no way to change my velocity at all. Okay, I'm just completely at the mercy of Kerbal and its gravity. It is possible to come in and capture yourself and then move out of the atmosphere with a trajectory such that you'll like run into the moon or something. And I have seen that before, where you'll get captured and then you'll get flung out to the moon, and then the moon will capture you and fling you out somewhere further. And that's pretty frustrating because you thought you were going to get a capture, but the moon thwarted your plans. Yeah, that can happen. So you got to be a little bit careful about that. But you see here that not only did I get a capture, but I'm like, it's a really low capture too. It's not like it was out here somewhere, which would have been fine, but it's not. So I don't have to worry about that. The only thing I have to worry about now is how long it's going to take for me to actually fly around the moon and do all this over again. Around Kerbal. Like that island. See that island right there? This tiny island. Let's go visit that little place one time. That is, I think I've mentioned this in this Let's Play already, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. But I do think... Oh, my blader is running low. That's funny. Typically, nobody ever has a problem with the blader. I mean, it's going to be fine, but it's lower than I'm used to. That is one thing I mentioned before, and I'll mention it again. I feel like this game, and not that I'm complaining, but I wish they would have done a little bit more with the terrain and made a couple more interesting like land features and things, like reasons to actually go explore parts of the planet. Really, the only impetus anybody has to go explore parts of the planet is to get science from that biome, and even then you pretty much like land and go, great, I'm in the desert, and you get your science and then you go back to the space station. I don't know of anybody that just like kind of flies around admiring the landscape. There's a few places where perhaps you can do that, and it's kind of pleasant to look at. But for the most part, the terrains on these planets are just kind of big and empty. They've got like procedurally generated hills, but that doesn't really that don't impress me much. So So that in KSP2, they've already mentioned the main the lead designer for the game has already mentioned that that's something that they're working on is terrain, and also collidable terrain as well. Am I forwarding? So not only will there be like scattered rocks and terrain and stuff like that on the planets, but it'll be stuff that actually affects your craft. So that'll be something. What we have here on this game. So that'd be cool. I think I released those parachutes in reverse order, but it's fine. All right, so I am curious to see how many science we get from Dres. These poor guys have been up there for 16 years. That's a hell of a mission. That's a lot of your life to waste away floating in a tin can. So, I guess they do it for the love of the science. So, there we go. The thrill of the hunt, huh? Oh yeah, I forgot I had this stage like this before. That's right. For some reason I was thinking I forgot that I had used a Duna ship. That's why it looks like this. Anyway. And splashdown. Very cool. Alright. So a semi-successful mission. I mean, ultimately it was successful. So that's good. What did they say I think it was World War II, was it the planes on the ground, the pilots alive, it was a successful landing? I guess you could say the same thing here. We got the green people, we got the science. It was all good. These loading screens are atrocious sometimes. Alright, here we are. 1350. 1350 signs received for all that. So, not as good as it could be, but pretty good. Level 4. Tan van. Good job. Alright, so something I noticed in between one of these two episodes I did recently is that I don't have an antenna on the DSS that is able to transmit science, which is a crazy oversight on my part. A ridiculous oversight on my part. So, I will have to decide whether or not I want to do that on camera or whether or not to do it by myself. All I'm going to do is alter craft over there with appropriate satellite on it and dock it, and that'll be that. Because I can't get all that juicy science that's on the DSS back to Kerbal if I don't have an antenna that's capable of transmitting it. So, another oversight on my part. I apologize for that. But, yeah, what it is. Science data from the surface of Duna. I am tired of going to Duna. Map 10 asteroids. La 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 la. Man, so much Duna stuff. Okay, goodness gracious. I kind of thought once we went to Dres, we would get the Dres stuff. Plant a flag on Ike. Well, whatever. I got 2.7 mil. I think we'll probably be okay with money. We don't really need to be doing these contracts. 1,500 science. Almost getting close to completing the tree. I mean, at this point, we can just start buying stuff. That's 300 for nuclear. Let's see. Don't really need that stuff right now. That'd be fun. The plane stuff would be fun. I might think about doing the plane stuff. Ion propulsion. That's a good one. Yeah, the big core. I like this one. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you like, comment, subscribe. If you like what you saw, I really appreciate it. Sorry, the videos are kind of whack right now. I had to go out there and rescue these guys. It wasn't what I was planning on. So, at any rate, I had a good time, and I hope you did too. So, I'll see you in the next episode, and thanks again.